explore one last nuance of cost-effectiveness analysis, I want us to focus on a specific way we can have an impact, as individual donors. As in the previous lesson, we'll often think about donations when we're trying to understand new concepts, since it's simpler to analyze. Even though I don't know you all personally, I can still analyze the value of each dollar you donate. Your dollar is as useful and effective as mine, or anyone else's. Estimating the impact of your volunteer time or career is more challenging because it depends on your personality and skills, though we'll still focus on these important decisions later in the course. Let's say you're considering donating to a charity. You've done your due diligence, and you now know that in the 5 years this charity existed, it helped significantly improve 100,000 lives with a cost of about $10,000. Let's avoid the details for now, like what we mean exactly by improving lives. Is this sufficient to decide whether it's cost-effective to donate to it? If we're asking the question, how can we help? It's fairly obvious we're asking what will be the impact of the money that we're donating. Asking how cost-effective the charity has been in the past can be a useful indicator for this. Donating to a charity that's been cost-effective so far is much more promising than donating to a charity that has squandered its money. But it's still not always indicative. What we really care about is the impact of the next dollar we donate, which is called the marginal dollar. Our donation decisions should be driven by the marginal cost-effectiveness, not by the past cost-effectiveness. Let's look at a simple hypothetical example. Imagine your district is affected by severe drought, and the amount of water in the district's water tower is unprecedentedly low. It turns out the piping system from the water tower was designed pretty badly, and the villages in your area can only pump water if the water level in the tank reaches their pipe. You want to help as many villages as you can, so you grab a bucket and run to the nearest pond to carry water to fill up the water tower. If the water tower looks like this, then for every bucket you pour in, the water rises at the same rate. Perhaps for every 100 buckets you carry, another village gets access to the water. But if the water tower is built like this, then the first bucket will raise the water level much more than later buckets. Perhaps you'd only need 50 buckets for the water to reach the first village, but many hundreds of additional buckets to try and reach one additional village later on. This specific example is a bit forced. Not many water towers are built with interesting geometric shapes, and most towns are smart enough to put the pipes at the bottom. But a similar dynamic actually does occur in most donations, or even most of our efforts. The buckets of water represent the effort and time or money that we often put into things, while the rise of the water represents the effect our investment achieves. It is actually more common than not that we have low-hanging fruit, cheap and easy opportunities that can achieve a lot of impact. But as we invest more and more, we achieve less and less, because we can only invest in the next best thing. Even though we're using the same bucket, the margins grow smaller. The word marginal has a specific meaning in economics. While in everyday usage the word means small, in economics the word refers to the additional effect of an additional investment. By understanding the cost structure of a charity, we can understand whether its marginal cost effectiveness will be the same as its past cost effectiveness. And if it's not, how much do they differ? Can these two things be very different? It turns out that in some cases, they can differ radically.